Hi, everyone. Welcome to our very first Teal Talk Live. Each year, we recognize Scleroderma Awareness Month in June, and our message this year is Let's Talk About Scleroderma. And the goal with this theme is really to just urge everyone in our communities to engage in meaningful conversations about scleroderma. Anyone can have scleroderma, the cause is still unknown, and there is no cure. But the more we talk about scleroderma, the closer we get to overcoming it. Our hope is that by raising awareness, we can help people recognize the signs and symptoms earlier, decreasing time to diagnosis and treatment. I'm so excited to be here with our celebrity ambassador, Ashley Barron. Ashley was named as our first ever celebrity ambassador last spring and is a talented rising star on the country music scene in Nashville. She was diagnosed with scleroderma at age 5 and unfortunately also lost her mother to the disease about 2.5 years ago. We are honored to have Ashley here with us today to share why talking about scleroderma is so important to her. Ashley, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I am so excited to be here.
Ashley, you've been so generous in amplifying our message and sharing your story and really helping to spread awareness about the disease and the work we do at the foundation. Thank you so much for everything you do for us. Maybe you could just tell us a little bit about how and why Till Talk is personal to you.
Yeah. For me, like you said, I mean, the more that we can share our voices and the louder we can share our voices, the easier it's going to be for people that maybe are in a town and they're the only ones with scleroderma, or they have no one around them that's ever heard of this disease. And then they can go online and just Google, and hopefully there we are. And we can create a community for them so they don't feel alone. When I was diagnosed, that was definitely the position my family and I were in. We didn't know anybody that had this disease. And it is very difficult and isolating when you have to walk through that journey alone. So that's definitely my personal mission, and I know your guys' is too. And that's why I absolutely love working with you guys, so we can create this community for those that are just finding out or have had it for a long time.
Amazing. And speaking of living with this for a long time, I know you were so young when you were diagnosed. What do you remember feeling or experiencing when you were kind of trying to learn what that meant for you and your family?
Yeah, it was, like I said, it was very isolating. But I think the biggest feeling I remember was I was embarrassed a lot of the times. My scleroderma for me localized on the outside of my body, and it, left scarrings on my legs. And as a young child, kids can be very mean to those that look different. And so I never wanted to wear shorts. I was so embarrassed of my legs, and I wanted to be a cheerleader so bad, and it stopped me from cheer sisters who helped me be confident and not caring of what others thought, and thankfully had a amazing mom that also taught me the love of Jesus and God, and that's truly what matters. And that's, again, just always what I want other people to feel, because I remember those feelings like it was yesterday.
I know that strong support system has meant so much to you, and it's something we try to facilitate here as well with our community. And I also know that kids living with scleroderma have a close and special place in your heart, that they're really near and dear to you. And we're so grateful that you're joining us at conference next month, and we know you have some special things planned. What are you most looking forward to?
I am just so excited to meet everybody. I am such a hugger, so I just want to hug everybody. I just want them to feel loved. I think it's just going to be so fun. And the fact that I'm going to bring my band and we get to share our music with you, I'm just so excited. It is like the #1 event on my list this summer that I just can't wait for.
Oh, well, it means so much to us, and we're so grateful. And we have so many fans in our community that are just so excited that you are doing this for us and making the meeting even more special. Our first time being back in person since 2019. So even more special that you can join us and be there. So you've shared a little bit about your story, and I know you've shared with our community many times about your mom and her journey, and just how much that impacted, your family and your life. What do you wish you had known before you learned that your mom was diagnosed?
I just wish that we could have gotten the diagnosis sooner. It was unfortunately just very sudden, and then on top of that, it was in the height of COVID, and so not only getting in to see a doctor, but getting in to see a specialist was so incredibly difficult. And I know that even now without COVID, it's still so hard for some people to get into those specialists. And yeah, I know that I truly believe that everything happens for a reason, but I do wish we could have just had a little bit more time with her.
I know that's part of why it's so important to you to share that story and to help raise awareness. And again, just so grateful for everything you do for us. So switching gears a little bit, I know that you're a big proponent of health and wellness, and I also know that you have like the craziest schedule. How do you take care of yourself and find that balance with your touring and your travel schedule?
Yeah, again, I think it's just all about keeping a routine. One, I love cooking, so I meal prep a lot of my stuff before I get out on the road, and whether that's just a short stint will be out or it's long, I try to always kind of stay on top of my diet. And then honestly, I have an amazing band, and thankfully they love own gym together, workout times in between our sound checks and whatnot. And then to be honest, I'm like that 95-year-old grandma that carries around the like Monday through Sunday pill box with like all my vitamins in it. So it's all about organization.
That's awesome. So, I mentioned that you have been so great about spreading awareness and really sharing your story. How has sharing your story helped you process your scleroderma journey?
Yeah. Um, Honestly, it's brought me so much joy. And I know that sounds a little weird because this disease is so devastating. But before I met you guys, I did not know anybody else that had scleroderma. And then it was like all of a sudden my mother was diagnosed. And then Bob Saget's story came out, and it was like, whoa, I had no idea. And then I started talking about it more. I started, writing songs that helped me process, and then sharing that story on radio and at shows. I was so shocked to see people coming out of the woodworks of, I've got it too, or I know this person. And so to be able to talk about it has just helped me heal, because again, bringing that sense of community, to know that people can connect on every level, whether that's you have it personally or you have a family member that has it, having that support is so crucial. So I honestly, it just makes me so happy. It makes me so happy to work with you guys and to share my story and to see the people connect is such a blessing.
Oh, I would love to hear it. Is there anything that you want to share with our community that we haven't kind of chatted about already?
No, I mean, just, keep a lookout on my website at ashleybarronofficial.com. I am going to be touring. Our tour kicks off June 22nd in Ohio, and we're going to kind of be all throughout. So, check and see if there's a city near you. Reach out to me. I would love to meet you guys there if you're not able to make it to the conference. And if you are, then I will see you at the conference.
Awesome. Well, I know all of our chapters are so excited for you to be touring in their areas. So we'll definitely keep everyone up to date to that and put a link to your tour schedule on our Facebook page as well. So super excited to see you on the road, and of course to see you in Orlando. Ashley, thank you for taking the time to be with us today and to share with our community so openly. Again, we're just so grateful for everything that you're doing to help raise awareness at your shows, on social media, just everything that you're doing, again, to raise the narrative and to talk about scleroderma. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me, and thank you for all you guys do. I appreciate it as a patient with scleroderma, and it is an honor to be your guys' celebrity ambassador.
Thank you. Well, thank you all for joining us today too, and I hope you'll join us each week in June for our hashtag Till Talk events. These happen twice a week, all month long. Last week, we kicked off with our first Till Talk table series, which is a great engaging roundtable discussion and such a terrific opportunity to meet other members of the community. We have breakouts and you get a chance to talk to everyone. And share your journey. Our next table series is actually Thursday, so you can register once for all the sessions throughout the month and then join on the dates you can. And then once a week, we'll go live here on our Facebook page for our Till Talk live events, where we'll have a different special guest joining us each week. And we're so fortunate again to have Ashley Barron here to kick things off with us this week for our first ever Till Talk Live. Join us throughout June by using the hashtag Teal Talk to promote awareness about scleroderma all month long. And you can learn more and register for our Teal Talk roundtables at scleroderma.org/Teal Talk. Thanks again for joining. And thank you again, Ashley. Bye, y'all.